As promised, I'm finally doing the Spring 2v2 weapon tier list, and I'm gonna make this really quick because the other video was like 32 minutes, and I know nobody's gonna watch that. So we're gonna start off with Axe, and this is the tier list I'm looking at. It's top tier and easy. Top tier requires some skill, great weapons, and viable. Now, like I said, this is in my opinion, but all these tiers means that they are good enough. You know, you can still use. The viable is the worst one. Now, there's going to be one weapon I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to say this, it's not viable, but that's just because I CBA, you know. And I'll mention that later, but top tier and easy and top tier requires skill, in my opinion, they're both the same level. They're both the same level. It's like as in terms of how good the weapon is. But in reality, top tier and easy is just easier to use. So, you know, less effort required. Anyway, I'm going to have to do this quickly because I know I waffle a lot. So, starting with X, this weapon easily deserves to be in top 10 easy. Okay, let's just say the main strengths. It deals damage probably the quickest out of any weapon in the game. So there's that. It covers a lot of space. So in 2v2 where you have no space, you have a higher chance of just getting hit by an X side light, which leads to a lot of conversions. It has a lot of string potential. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of string potential, but its string potential is very easy for your teammate to follow up from. So follow-ups and everything from a side light nair or anything like that, very easy from X. And its killing potential is just great. Now, its ability to assist his teammate is okay. It's good enough, you know. It's not the most amazing, but actually, I'd say it's pretty good. You know, when you're assisting your teammate who is getting hit, yeah, maybe you'll be able to throw a big hitbox. I'll be able to assist, but in the I was gonna say in the kind of maybe 2v1 aspect, it can get baited quite easily sometimes, you know, because if you bait out a side light from X, you can easily just go for the other teammate. But other than that, not many faults to it, bro. This weapon is very, very strong. It deserves top tier knees. Now, guns. This weapon, I think, in my opinion, it's the same level as Axe. You know, same as like highest regard. If this weapon's played to its highest regard, I think it might even be the best 2v2 weapon. But there's one catch to it. It requires a bit of skill. You need to learn to zone people. When you zone people with side lights, says, and all that kind of stuff, you're then able to, you know, push away an opponent and also deal damage to someone else. Setting up combos with this is like probably the easiest like in the game. You know, everything goes into a combo for your teammate and it gives him enough time to react. Damage build up is really good. KOs, not the greatest. That part does require some skill. And yeah, defensive gameplay in general, just really good. It's probably the best at assisting your teammate. Like Sidelight says, you can help your teammate from miles away, bro. It's great, bro. This weapon is really good, but requires a lot of skill. That's my point here. Third weapon, sorry. Bow. This weapon, I'll probably put it here. Reason being, it has similar properties to guns, in that its moves are, I want to say, not as linear as Axe, but like, of course, Sidelight will lead into a combo. is like just a very easy move to just edge guard with, like very good for twos. Of course, the same goes for down air. The juggling game with bow, nair, like in the sky is one of the best. So assisting your teammate in getting someone in the sky and dealing so much damage is so strong with this weapon. Now, the reason why I say it requires some skill is because this weapon doesn't do all the damage for you. You do have to read them sometimes, here and there. You know, like read a dodge in, read a, you know, like them jumping and that kind of stuff. And once you do that, assisting your teammate and pushing an opponent away from someone is very, very good. That's like its best part of this weapon. That's why I think bow deserves to be in top tier, but requires some skill, because it's not just like, it doesn't play the game for you. You do have to, like, you know, use a bit of skill and stuff like that, yeah. And also 2v1 with this weapon is like so free. Now, cannon. This weapon, it's viable. Now, people are gonna be like in NA, oh, you're crazy, bro. This weapon, have you not seen, who was it? Is it Hardy? Is it Hardy? I'm not sure if it's Hardy or my apologies if I don't know the NA players too much. There's one who plays Zal, and I'm not sure if it's Hardy or someone else. And yeah, he shows that cannon can be stronger. So does Sandstorm, right? It can be, yeah, but it requires too much spacing. And when you have no space in a 2v2 map, you know, where you're put into a small spot, you know, positioning to get a D-light or positioning in general to do an attack, it's problematic. You know, even for your teammate to follow up, you need a lot of skill. Now, it's still viable enough to use, but it's not, it's like, it requires too much skill for what it offers, you know. Like, it's good enough, you know. It is definitely good enough to use. Don't get twisted. But in my opinion, the matchup wise, like in of all these weapons, it suffers from matchups and it doesn't have any space to do any stuff with it. It does make it a bit of a hard weapon to use. Gauntlets. Gauntlets, this weapon, well, it definitely deserves to be in top tier and easy. People are like, oh no, gauntlets aren't super easy. They're not like axe level easy. Yeah, they're not. They're obviously not. Like, axe is the easiest weapon in the game, but it's still very, very strong. Now, gauntlets has every move you can do with this weapon would lead into a combo for your teammate. So combos all day, every day, bro. From any move, it has great potential to send a person off stage and then force, you know, a 2v1 situation off stage. So much pressure can be applied there. And it has just infinite combos for itself. Like, you know, it has so many combos, bro. So off stage, on stage for your teammate. Like, so support on stage, insane. Forcing somebody to put you in a bad situation off stage is great. It's like, this weapon is so good. Now, killing isn't as easy as X. Just go for a say or something. No, you have to earn it a bit, right? But it's like, it's definitely got the best gimp ability off stage. So there's that weapon, Gauntlets, yeah. That's why I think it's top 10 easy. Greatsword. This weapon is probably the worst weapon to use, in my opinion. Alright? Before everyone kills me. And sorry, man, like dry throat. But the Greatsword, let's just say this weapon has no I don't want to say the combo game is gone, but you have to read somebody in order to first do a setup for your teammate. And you also have to, bro, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. But yeah, with Greatsword, you have to read somebody in order to set up combos. And you also have to, you know, read somebody whilst doing a combo with your teammate. It's like terrible for setting up combos. But for other parts outside of that, yeah, applying pressure to somebody, you know, is really good. Which you can force into a good situation for your teammate. But it isn't that great in my opinion. So, yeah, Greatsword, all in all, this weapon is just, its ability to 2v1, I wouldn't say is that great. Its ability to combo with your teammate isn't that great. Its ability to set up combos for your teammate is not that great. So, I'm not a fan of Greatsword in my opinion. Hammer, this weapon is definitely top 10 ease. Now, imagine Axe, but Axe and Gauntlets at the same time. It has combos on combos. It has strings. It has everything, right? And it can also kill early. So what can't it do, bro? The hammer, in my opinion, might be the best 2v2 weapon. Now, the problem that hammer has is that against Axe, obviously, you know, we had the same, when I said matchup issue, Axe can beat it in a lot of regards. But, you know, if there was like, you know, a good person using hammer, he knows how to spot dodge, he knows how to dodge Axe properly. In terms of KO ability and stuff like that, hammer is the best, easily. You know, it has the combos. It's such a threat in 2v1. As soon as somebody's in red situation, it's great. Every D light into set will set up your teammate. N light is gonna set up your teammate. Dare is gonna set up your teammate. Recovery is gonna set up. Everything sets up your teammate. And killing is just way too great. Now, top 10 requires some skill. Would I say that's where Katar goes? I don't want to say so. Now, this is why people are going to get on to me. They're going to be like, oh, why isn't some people are going to be like, why isn't it top tier requires some skill, or why is it not viable? The reason why I'm going to give a quick argument for these two. Top tier requires some skill. This weapon has no ability to combo with his teammate. You have N-Light. Bro, at best, you have like maybe side light into pushing to something. Maybe if your teammate has enough, like quick enough reaction or knows what you're going to do, intuition, D-Light into something. Follow-ups from this weapon is 0. Probably 0, yeah. Would I say it's as bad as Greatsword? No, it's probably better than Greatsword. But you don't use Katars for the sake of combos in 2v2. You use it for ground control and neutral. You'll beat everyone in neutral with this weapon in general, like in 1v1 as well. So naring, end-line, pushing a lot of pressure like that after somebody dodges, you're going to get a lot of damage. Now, it's not viable because, it's not in the viable section because its ability to play neutral in 2v2 is so strong that you don't need to put it in, it doesn't need combos. So that's why I think Katars are so great in that situation. Now, Orb, people are going to laugh at me. They're going to be like, what the heck, this weapon is probably, either top 10 easy or top 10 required. The reason why I say not top 10 easy, is that like this weapon, of course you have the combos and stuff like that. I would say they're a bit less automated than top tier and easy weapons right now. It's almost up there. I would definitely say if there was a tier in between these two, probably Orb will go there. That's because Orb deals a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Its moves do help to go into combos, but it's not as much. It becomes kind of predictable. You know when someone's gonna go for a Seer. The only thing that you can't react to is the end light. So there's that, you know, like, so its edge guard ability is great. Assisting teammates is great. You know, assisting teammates is one of the best now. You may think it doesn't have range, but it has very, very quick moves. So there's that. But yeah, the only thing that makes it lack a bit is that it becomes quite predictable, you know, at certain times. But obviously, something can be predictable, but hard to punish regardless. So that's why I put it in top tier, requires some skill. Now, Lance. This weapon, it's not... It's matchup wise in 2v2 is not good enough for it to be top tier. But it's still a very good weapon. It's a great weapon. Like, this weapon, it's... has the combos, has the setups for the teammates, and just does racks up damage really good. People even find it like it covers a lot of stage control. Now, I'm saying all these great points, but why is it not in top 10? Requires some skill. The reason for that is because Lance, it kind of I don't know what's wrong with me today, man, but it kind of struggles to, I don't want to say kill. It becomes predictable again with the Seers and stuff like that, recovery. But it's more that this weapon's matchup like game is so bad, you know. Axe will destroy it, bow will destroy it, guns will destroy it. Some people would argue to say even a short weapon when they're inside Katars will destroy it. It's like its matchups are it's just not strong enough, you know, in order for it to be top tier. So I think it's definitely great, but it's a very, very easy weapon to use though. Scythe, this weapon I put in viable. Now, people are gonna be like, you're kind of crazy, bro. Have you not seen the players who can do the crazy stuff with Scythe, you know, always off stage? Yeah, its own properties, sole properties for like 1v1 and stuff like that. When you put somebody off stage, you can put somebody in such a bad situation, just like Gauntlets, that you can argue that it's broken in that aspect. But, you know, to be able to use this weapon to a high level in 2v2, it has so many single target moves that you can just knock them out of any move they're doing on your opponent. And, you know, it has good string ability, but you require some skill with that, and it has good combo ability, but that's it. It struggles to kill in 2v2. It struggles to rack up damage in 2v2, and it's just overall, it's just like it's just a weapon for putting somebody off stage and just to set up like for a bit of combos. It doesn't have strong enough core values, you know. Now, Spear. This weapon is, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to say top tier and easy, man. This weapon is right. It has arguably the same, a bit less zoning ability than guns, yeah. And on top of that, it has very easy, like I want to say, damage build up. It has very easy follow-ups as itself, you know, from its weapon. It's very easy to combo set up with a teammate, and it has probably the perfect, you know, like kind of moves for doing 2v1s. Now, have you ever had a situation where you had to face a Bryn and somebody else, or Hattori and somebody else, and one guy just has a spear and all he's doing is like throwing nairs to prevent you from dodging in back into the stage or something like that? Now, you're gonna be forced to use so many dodges against spear because of its range and like the amount of active frames, that you're gonna be put into such a bad situation for the other person to then punish you, and then it gets into a combo. It has absolutely, in my opinion, the best, I think, 2v1 or second best 2v1 capabilities. This is, now, it doesn't have the easiest for doing 0 to deaths immediately. Like, I think Hammer would be better, Gauntlets would be better. But it's just zoning ability. If you're both one stock red in a 2v1 scenario and the other guy is like white, you can zone somebody out perfectly with spear and you'll go insane, bro. That's why I think it's up there. Sword, I'm gonna put it in. Now, people are gonna be like to me, it should be top 10 easy. Now, this weapon, would I say it's as easy as spear in this regards, or is it? I'll definitely say, yeah, it's looking a bit funny that I put my my tier list like this, but I don't think sword isn't. People used to say sword is actually pretty hard to use, or like they said it was like not good enough for what it does. But now in this sense, bro, and like is like, you can't react to that. D-Light into every combo is like, it's perfect. The legends that use sword have great signatures majority of the time. Anyway, in case you somehow fail to do a combo, bro, with D-Light side air, D-Light dare, D-Light recovery, bro, everything can be set up into combos. It's very easy, and even the side light goes into a combo, bro. Imagine every grounded move you do on literally sword can lead into a combo. Like that's crazy, bro. And it's just so good. Like same aspect as spear, you know, in the 2v1 scenario, it's so good. It's very easy to just move around your opponent, throw out attacks, and then move away. I don't say it requires that much skill, because it doesn't require you to zone much, and whilst it doesn't require you to zone as much, it's like not that hard as well to also hit them with like moves close to each other or even further away. I think for what it does, it's a great weapon. It's there's a reason why I think Bodva is therefore up there. I think an Axe Legend would be therefore up there, that kind of stuff. It's just too good it's too balanced, bro. It doesn't have any weaknesses. But yeah, I know this was kind of scuffed because of my voice and stuff like that, but this is kind of what I think of like the meta right now. Viable, these weapons, just that they're still good enough to use, but could use a better weapon in my opinion. Great weapons, strong, but they do lack in one certain aspect that's quite big. Top 10 requires some skill. These weapons are just as good as the one above, but they require a bit more skill in my opinion. People are probably going to criticize me. They'll be like, what do you mean? Orb is probably easier than sword, and bow is probably better than spear. And I'm like, yeah, but I think it requires a bit more skill, bro. I think you can literally be brain dead with these ones in top 10s and get away with it. But yeah, that's it for this. My next video, I saw that people wanted me to do like more longer videos. I'm gonna probably do like a longer video. I might just squeeze in a little short and then do another longer video. But either way, this is my opinion, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.